It's an absolute disgrace. We're not far right, we're not racist, we're not Nazi, we're not scum, we're concerned Irish citizens, parents, non-parents. You want to know what's going on? Where are they? Where are Sinn Féin? Sinn Féin are nowhere to be fucking seen. They should be here supporting us, because at the end of the day they're supposed to be a party for the people, and they're fucking not. They're an absolute disgrace.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Irish Zone. We are live here from Dublin, Ireland, and thank you everybody for tuning in all over the world. Right now Kevin is just a little bit delayed, but he will be with us presently. But we will be discussing obviously Kevin's plans for the future. What he hopes to do if he gets elected. But of course we cannot start off the stream with that, because of course Kevin is from the Coolock area, and we have seen what has happened in Coolock. Same thing that happened in Newtown, Mount Kennedy, and many places across this country. And again, the media, Helen McEntee, Simon Harris, completely oblivious to what's going on. Again, they attacked protesters, concerned citizens of this country. Yesterday, we saw disgraceful scenes where old age pensioners, children, women of all ages were pepper sprayed. We see in the public order unit, a man was on the ground. There's footage, video footage, by the way, so none of this is in dispute. Your man was on the ground. Public order unit man goes over, beating him with a baton, and then another one goes in with the kicks just for good measure while he's already on the ground. We also seen councillors being pepper sprayed and assaulted by members of the public order unit. Yet the media, Simon Harris, Drew Harris, and Helen McEntee have decided that, oh, we'll just blame the peaceful protesters. Now, Coolock, I've been to Coolock a few times supporting the locals there, and they have been peaceful from day one, right? And it's funny to me that every time the public order unit goes in, something seems to go wrong, right? But instead of putting those dots together, people on the left and people in the media continue with the narrative that it's concerned people in their communities that are worried of what's going on. And yeah, Helen McEntee and others have called them cowards and said that they will face the full rigors of the law. Well, what about the Gardaí who, in a video, seems like they may have sabotaged their own car? I have to be very careful because we're on YouTube. But they sabotaged their own police car, right? As I said, we've seen the multiple videos of them and the over-the-top reaction to the citizens of Coolock. It was an absolute disgrace. And the fact that the Minister of Justice has come out with the rhetoric that she's come out with is not surprising, to say the least. Now, I saw something before I came on. News Talk, right, one of the mainstream media outlets that's always criticising the so-called far right, actually reported on the protest today in Coolock. And you know what? I couldn't believe me eyes. They actually said it was peaceful. They actually said it was peaceful. And I was absolutely stunned, right? Because News Talk has been one of the worst media outlets out there. Now, some people in the chat were asking, they heard that there was stuff kicking off. Well, I'm at the main talking to Kevin there. He's after sending me a few voice messages as well. As I said, he will be here soon. He actually texted me. He's on the way home, so he's on the way and all. But he told me that he spoke to Gardaí. Gardaí want to keep it peaceful, and the people in Coolock want to keep it peaceful. And, you know, Kevin made the point, well, it was peaceful until yous all came blundering in. Now, we have Rebel News out there, you know, the Canadian fella. Now, I've called him out a couple of times because when he was on the canal, he came over here from Canada and went to the canal where all the migrants were. And he said he was there to look for Ukrainians because he was told Ukrainians were intense, right? And start going around with that false narrative. I'm looking for Ukrainians. So again, he started talking about Molotov cocktails and the people of Coolock doing this, that, and the other. And because I called him out, he decided to call me an MI6 agent and then started a pylon. And I pushed back against that. The bottom line is, if you're going to come to Ireland and report on what's going on in this country, I suggest you do basic research. Anybody could have told you when you came to the canal that it wasn't Ukrainians in those tents, but you were intent on looking for some Ukrainians, right? And then you come out with all this spiel with residents turning violent and using Molotov cocktails and all of this other nonsense coming out your mouth when there's video footage clearly showing, as I said, Gardaí sabotaging, right? And another thing I've noticed as well, a few Garda cars were smashed up. But what I found very interesting about that is you will notice at most protests, especially in Coolock, Dublin, that anybody that's at those protests never has their faces covered because none of us are ashamed to be there because we're supporting communities and we believe in what we're doing. And I always notice when there is violence, right? It was the same with the so-called Dublin riot. Right, there was these people in the masks, and they just felt out of place, and they were trying to egg on the Irish crowd that was there, trying to make the situation more volatile. Now we have seen some plainclothes Gardaí, right? They're wearing jeans, runners, and stuff like that, and then they had their Garda thing on over their clothes. So they were clearly mixing with the crowd beforehand, right? And this is what you need to look out for, right? This is what they do, right? They try and get people. Look, we seen them in that video, right? Where they were there and they were using the so-called, as they would call it, the far right chants, right? That's for them to infiltrate all of these places, right? And when something does kick off, I'm telling you, 99% of the time, no, actually not 99, 100% of the time, it's them. It's the public order unit and all of these undercovers, right? And they're the ones that are causing problems. Now, I've been in Coolock, as I said, and the people there, yeah, they're no nonsense, right? They'll take no shit, but they've been peaceful. They've been peaceful, right? It's only when the public order unit and the Gardaí come in heavy-handed, right? And that's what they did. That's what they did, by the way. And we're going to set the record straight on here. Because, you know, all over social media, we've been hearing different stories about what happened in Coolock, right? You're gonna hear from someone that was actually there, right? And all of this happened early morning before it kicked off in the day, right? And everybody is leaving out that point, right? They came in heavy-handed. They wanted to agitate, and they've been trying to do it ever since News Talk went in there and tried. Paul Reynolds, wasn't it? Oh, not Paul Reynolds, the other gobshite, right? And he dropped his phone, right? They tried to do it before. They tried to make the people of Coolock look fucking bad. And you know what? It pissed them off that they couldn't do it the first time. So they went in with the heavy-handed approach like they did with Newtown, Mount Kennedy, and all of these other places that we've seen around the country, right? And now we've got, as I said, Media Minister of Justice Simon Harris and all the usual gobshites blaming the people of Coolock. I'm not surprised. But anyway, he's here. So I'll shut up now and I will introduce our guest. And it's an honor to have him on because he doesn't do any interviews with the mainstream media. Do you know what? He's the only one that's kind of stuck to that, right? The rest of them will say they won't, but then they end up talking to them. Kevin never has. So to get him on here is a big deal. So could you do me a favor and share this stream because we won't be just talking about Coolock. I want to talk about, obviously, what his plans are if he gets in the general election. And obviously, we want to find out why he started, getting out there and stuff, his journey, basically. I want you to get to know this guy, especially if you're from the Coolock, Darndale area, because this is a guy that I believe you should all be giving your vote to. He's an honest man. I've met him a couple of times, and there's no better man to represent the people of his area. I can say that. Anyway, without further ado, I introduce Kevin Coyle.
Hey!
Welcome, you bloody legend.
That was some introduction. Jesus Christ, thanks very much.
You deserve it, mate. Mate, I've talked to you. I know that you're out there all the time. People like you should be highlighted. Unfortunately, others get highlighted, but it's you and others that are on the ground, like Fergus Power, on the ground every single day. You go wherever you are asked to go, and no hesitation, and that's what I love. But let's start off with Coolock, because obviously, that is the big thing now.
It's the hot topic, isn't it?
It's the hot topic, but I don't want to dwell on it too long, because everybody spoke about. I do want to kind of, after this Coolock segment, then focus on why you are running in the general election.
The point of why you asked me to come up was over sorry, pardon me, French. Over the tweet that I put out, you know what I mean? That the post I put out about the whole situation. But we get into it, we'll try and cover as much as we can, yeah? You know what I mean? But not just a briefing on the whole Coolock situation. It was like, look, we were peaceful for 3.5 months. We were welcoming to everybody that showed up. We never caused any trouble to anybody. And then to the night, there was 3 of us in the thing. And 3:30 in the morning, public order unit came in. And we're like, look, 30 seconds, grab what you can, leave. We were like, what the fuck? 30 seconds. He kept repeating it 5 or 6 times. 30 seconds, grab what you can and go. 30 seconds, grab what you can and go. So we literally just grabbed what we could, walked out, and there was about 200 of them. Just all lined up against the barrier and over the open. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then literally all the way down the road, they had... See, you'd be fairly familiar, like right from the Coolock Village Junction all the way down to the Darndale roundabout, they had that whole road blocked off. Even around by Bunratty, like around by the Memorial Park and all, like, it was all blocked off. They had guarded in the car park, in the plex, everywhere. Like, there was literally nothing anybody could have done. And he just said, look, grab your stuff and go. And then they said that if we didn't, we'd be crushed with it. We'd be crushed along with the stuff. So we were like, what the fuck? We just grabbed our stuff, bounced, forced out of the area. And then obviously then you seen what happened yesterday. We were peaceful. The guard agitated it. Public order unit agitated all, like they always do. But it's not going to stop. It's not going to end. No migrants have went in. They have the whole thing blocked off, like I said, as you've seen.
Kevin, just something that, because people have to be made aware of this. I mean, they went in the early hours of the morning. There was no consultation, no meeting with the community, right? So this is what yous have been fighting for, really, isn't it? Yous would just want communication with the government. Yous want to know what's actually happening rather than what they're doing now. I mean, to tell you that yous are going to be crushed if you don't move. And then we have Helen McEntee today calling you protesters thugs. Like, I mean, it's laughable. I've been there. I've seen them agitate and how they operate. And they're very cunning, they are. But they don't seem to give a shit anymore, Kevin. And that's the scary thing here. But you've said it. You people are not going to give up in that area. Yous are tough. Like, I mean...
How can we give up? Do you know what I mean? Our family's fucking future, safety is at risk here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not. And even Helen McEntee said some of the people that are going into that building have challenging behaviours. They have mental health. Then you have people saying it's the perfect location for them. Yeah, perfect location for, they say 550, whatever number they say, double that. So close to 1,000. You have an all-girls school 5 minutes down the road. You have a homeless hub and a crash. Like, there's about 15, 16 schools within 5-10 minutes of it. You have a UCI in a plex across the road, and people are saying it's a perfect spot for fucking people with mental health problems.
I did see the video, and fair play to you all. where migrants did try to enter the site, and they were all in Gucci gear, apparently.
They had Armani hold all bags and all, man. They were dressed in the best of gear with the stops fucking the white runners on that was spanking brand new. They got a few quid, like 100%. Because I was kind of away from it, and I seen them all, and I heard everybody shouting, so I ran back up and I said, I said, lads, they're not fucking security, man. I said, I said, no way are they security. Look how they're dressed them all, man. Yeah. And then two got in, one came back out, one stayed in there. Then he ended up putting the fucking high vis on, standing behind the wall. He was pointing at us, laughing and blah, blah, but the rest of them got marched on down the road. You know what I mean? And then that's when the public order unit, the guard and all came up and fucking shit like that. And you seen it? All we had was block the road. We had permission off the superintendent, off the sergeant and all. Like, look, at block the road, just let the truck by, and then it's can block the road. And then we blocked the road. The undercover copper, or the plainclothes copper, undercover, grabbed the gate and pushed it into everybody. You know what I mean? So like, tempers are already flaring at that point. You know what I mean? What did the fuck you think was going to happen? Yeah,
I seen that video. Very interestingly, you do see the Gardaí trying to rip down that fence, and
the superintendent standing right beside him, the one who gave us permission to put it up.
And that's what they do, folks. This is what you don't realise, because the media will never report this, because obviously they're not going to start ratting out the public order unit and the government, because they're all down.
Of course not. No, it's not what was interesting as well, right? When they all changed shift last night, right? The second lot that came on, they were all northern. Every single one of them were from the north. Every one of them. Which I found interesting, considering Drew Harris orchestrated the whole thing from Coolock Guard Station. Like, he was in the station yesterday.
We also seen the photograph of the video footage actually of the foreign Garda with his knee on an Irish fella's neck, and then we seen the public order unit beat a man that was already on the ground with a bat.
They ran halfway across the road and lashed them over.
Yeah,
like it's definitely the way the police up north. You know what I mean? And it's no coincidence that we have the former head of PSNI and head of the Guardian. That's how they're acting.
Yeah,
even though nearly 100% of them vote with no confidence in them, they're still out there doing this dirty work. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunately they may regret it.
How are the people in Coolock today, anyway? After the events, how is the mood? Is it defiant?
They're grand. Yeah, they got that. Like, yesterday was kind of a bit of a success in a way, if you want to say. Now, I don't condone any violence or anything, but like, to put a stop to what they had planned, you can say it was a success. Do you know what I mean? So, but apart from the violence and shit like that, it was always going to happen. But today, the mood is, it's good, yeah. You know, just before I was leaving there, about 7:30, 20 to 8, it was starting to get a bit tense. But when we walked down, then fucking the cop pulled me aside. He was like, "Look, if you keep it peaceful up there, we'll keep it peaceful down here." I says, "No point in saying it to me. I'm the one that's leaving the area." You know what I mean? Go up and say to them, like, but everybody's in good spirits, yeah. You know, they're just soldiering on. Like one of the lads said yesterday on the interview with Grip Media, they started, we'll finish it.
Yeah, strong words, actually. I actually watched that interview, and again, it just showed the resilience of the people there.
You know what? No, he's bang on. I know that man all my life. Now, I hadn't seen him in years before we reconnected at Coolock, and that's one man I'll happily fight and potentially die standing shoulder to shoulder, boy. 1,000,000%. And we mean it. Well, like, this is our area. You know, we have kids. Like, we're both on the opposite scale with kids. I have a 3-year-old. He's a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? So he's kind of in that phase now where he's like, I can't let her go anywhere. She wants to go here. She wants to go there. Meanwhile, like, my kid is still with me by my side for the meantime. You know what I mean? But like, I'll happily, he's one man that will definitely be on the front line, like myself. And that's where they're trying to target us. You know what I mean? And we already know what targets. I'm only waiting to get pulled out of my house because of what happened yesterday. Do you know what I mean? And shit like that. But no evidence of me doing that. And so we're all right. But this shit needs,
well, from what I seen with the videos with you weren't doing that, and you were just, you know,
I was just updating people on the situation, what's going on. And then you have these people. Oh, it's no coincidence Kevin Coyle rocks up everywhere. There's fires. 2 places there was fires. Crooksling, it's because it's 5 minutes away from where my children live, and fucking Crown Paint is because it's the area I lived in for 30 years, and I'm looking to move back into now.
So like
That's what I
that's
mean.
it.
You are
You know what I
telling
mean?
me when I met you at the last Coolock meet, when we were all there, you were telling me you literally have iPass centers in every direction of you now.
Everywhere. Everywhere my family are, there's one of these epoxy centres within 5 minutes. Like where me partner lives with our 2 kids, she's sandwiched right in between City West Hotel and Crookston.
Wow.
Right, like literally smack bang in the middle, smack bang in between. And we already had an incident there fucking 18 months ago. Like, you know what I mean? When my kids was a bit younger, holding myself, I followed home by 4 of the cunts out of City West Hotel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been a few incidents in City West Hotel, and there's a lot of cover up going on in this country as well, though, isn't there? With
corrupted. I just seen the report from RTE last night. It was all about just how people are violent, but they didn't show anything about like how rough the guard. Like the guard pepper sprayed an elderly disabled woman who was on a crutch. They done the same thing to a man. They beat him to a pulp as well. He was about 60. Like, do you know what I mean? And then, like they said, the one against the wall, where you literally see them, they run across the road, man. And the man doesn't even slow down before he flips into the ground. And then the other fella boot to the head, bands. Like, this is what we're dealing with. And then they have canister after canister after canister, the strongest pepper spray you can get. Like, once it goes into your eyes, it's shutting down your whole fucking body.
I have to say, they were very liberal. I watched that. They were very liberal with that pepper spray. I don't even think they know how to use that stuff properly. I mean, they were just so blasé with it. I mean, I saw the video where some woman minding her own business, right? She was just trying to talk to them, and she got it right in the face. Like, they sprayed it right in their face. Paul Fitzsimon's dad was pepper sprayed as well.
Gavin Maliki went to fucking calm the situation down, as you've probably seen, and there's a lot of people have different views about them and the shit like that, but it is what it is. They went, and even they got pepper sprayed as well. They're like, we're elected councillors, I don't give a fuck.
Look, people on this channel, I'll just say it out straight, people on this channel don't like your man.
No,
I found it quite weird. I'll just say something because I don't want to get you into trouble. I found it quite weird that he tried to de-escalate it, because the bottom line is, Maliki, whether you like it or not, you know, your protesting got us to a certain extent, as I said. It has to change up now. Protesting is not working. Coolock is going to get planted, right?
Yeah.
If Coolock don't get support. This is what should be Clonmel the same. You know, instead of having a national protest, everybody should be told, right, we want you to go to Clonmel, right? We're all going to go on the same day. Some go to Clonmel, some go to fucking Coolock, some go there. Boycott fucking RT, outside RT News, mainstream media, all on the same fucking day.
Yeah.
Right? We stretch the resources of this fucking country.
No, I agree 100%. Absolutely. But some people like don't want to go that route. You know what I mean? And
I don't really want to ask you this question, but do you think they're looking out for themselves?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, listen, there's too many people in the whole gig that are only in it for themselves, like, you know what I mean? Themselves and their little mates and on the side, like, you know what I mean? Oh, look at you look at me, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, the first time I met you, and I just have to say it, I knew straight away. And I'm not just saying this because you're on, because I've talked about you on this channel before.
Yeah. Well, what you're probably going to say now, you probably said to me face as well already. So like
I believe that you're 100%. I mean, I saw your passion. I saw how upset you got because you wanted to get up there and speak, and you were told no, that you couldn't speak. And I was pissed off with that, like a lot of other people. But do you know what? The way you held it together and you were dignified about it, I knew you were real straight away as soon as I met you. And do you know what? If I was living over that side of Dublin, you'd get my vote 100%, mate.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's talk about
because
we've covered Coolock. We don't need to keep on about Coolock.
Annie is covering Coolock at this stage, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Patrick Quillen, I think that's the video that everybody is loving, because obviously he's getting pushed by the public. And then he just fucking stepped out of the way and one of them fell on the deck. It was brilliant.
He got
It was
him.
brilliant. He got them lovely, and he got pepper sprayed in his face as well. God love him.
He
But
got
you
it
know
back
what?
when he did.
That's the type. Do you know what? I'll say something about Patrick. I wasn't sure about Patrick, got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But do you know what? To see him in Coolock, right? It's the same with Derek. You got to give it to him. He travelled up, was in
All the way
Coolock
from
as
Cork,
well.
yeah. Only way,
Yeah,
all the way from
and
Cork.
that's what you want to see. That's what
Absolutely.
you want to fucking see. So fair play to those lads as well. But let's get on to you, Kevin, because
Let's go.
you obviously you ran in the local elections, and I just want to say,
Yeah.
by the way, I know I text you privately and all,
Yeah.
but I want to say congratulations because your first preference votes were out the window. I mean, you should have fucking, in reality, you should be Councillor Kevin Coyle right now, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
I was in 5th out of 6 seats, yeah. After
but
the first preference, at 1,088, I think it was, or 1,091, just shy of 1,100.
I mean,
It's not
shoestring.
bad for someone that runs around roaring, screaming, shouting all the time, is it?
But hold on, let's put this into context, right? Shoestring budget, hardly any budget, right?
Yeah.
You're up against people that probably getting thousands pumped into their campaign,
Yeah.
and you flew off like a bat out of hell in the early count, and everybody was like, including myself. I have to say, Kev, right? I did actually believe that yourself, Fergus, would have a chance of getting in, and I have to say I was bitterly disappointed that you didn't. But
Ferg was a banker for me. I had 3 bankers of it. Yeah, Ferg, Malachy, and Gavin. All them were saying to get a seat. So I was highly surprised Ferg didn't.
Fergus is in the chat. He says he was fucking robbed. He actually was.
Listen, you know what? When I thought about Val, I'm not sure what her second name is, but Val from East Wall anyway, she said it to me a couple of times. She goes, Kev, 100% you were robbed. I didn't want to say it to you. And I was like, look, the more I think about it, I think I was, yeah, because about an hour before the end, a woman, I'm not sure what she was from, the Irish Examiner or the Irish Times or something like that. She came downstairs and she says to me, Mrs., she says, you're Kevin's parent, aren't you? And she says, yeah, why? Who are you? And she says, I'm such so and so from such and such. I'm looking for him and Philip Sutcliffe because I'm hearing from upstairs that Kevin's had been elected. And I was like, right, oh, okay. And then about an hour later, then it came out that I didn't. So I think 100% you're like, well, we can't give this fella a seat. Like Gavin, and I said this to Gavin and Malachy as well. So look, you was happy. They were happy to allow you in because they know you can be tamed to an extent. But like me in the Dublin City Council meetings for our time we had, I would have caused absolute fucking havoc.
But that's
genuine, in a good way, like in a good, like
yeah, that's what we need.
Just objected to everything they want to plan, do this, that,
but that's what we need. We need someone with a backbone in there, and that's what I'd call it. We need someone to ruffle a few fucking feathers the right way, as you said.
And they knew, like, you know what I mean? From walking around, I think, for the 2 days, and like seeing the woody on their faces and with their little clipboards and all, and they're counting on the second preferences, and they're like, Jesus, he's still there. And then one of the Shinners were like, if Kevin Coyle hadn't ran, we would have got another one in and all. And do you know what I mean? So it's just all that was like, if you had to said that to me on the Friday on the voting day, and you're gonna run them all the way to the last day, where you're gonna see some frightened faces, you're gonna hear a lot of Woody and all, but you're just gonna miss out at the end. I would have took it. Because to be honest with you, Saturday morning says the lads, I'd be happy with 500 votes. By the time I left the camp, by the time we all left the camp, because that's where we met, I had over 500, I think just shy of 600. So I was like, right, and they only had like half of the boxes open for the first preferences. Like, there we go, bingo, happy days. And then, yeah, I definitely think that there was some sort of messing around there. Definitely.
Unfortunately, this is the thing, and we have to watch out for this for the general election. I think the like they do in America. We've got to make sure that they don't try. Listen, they're frightened of the so-called far right in this country, right? They just haven't done what other countries have done and called a snap election. They'll still probably get in, but they're not going to be as impactful as they were because you know, obviously the nationalist side is actually gaining support. But let's talk about your journey. When did you, obviously, like the rest of us, you were seeing what was happening in the country, but what was the starting point for you? When did Kevin Coyle have enough and say, I have to get out there and do something?
It's not what now, right? I was constantly seeing the videos all the time now. Like I was only after having the baby and all, and I was constantly seeing the videos and all the time. I was like, fucking hell, man! Like the lads are fucking. Like, I love to be there now. I love to be doing that. And I was like, I need to be doing something. And the more I seen going on, the more videos I was like, nah, I'll get out and I'll stay to the back. I was like, I'll stay quiet and this and that. You know what I mean? But the videos that kind of got me going during COVID and all, well, COVID, sorry. During the whole lockdown gig, I was watching the Irish gig and Phil Dwyer, and I was like, really interesting. There's something going on because I wasn't a COVID skeptic at the start. Like I was away. Like I was locked up. Like I got out in January. I got out in February 2020. I got out a couple of weeks before lockdown. But what I was in jail, all I was seeing over the papers and the news and all was this big deadly disease. And I was like, lads, what the fuck is going on? And then I got out and I was seeing people kind of starting to wear masks and gloves, and I was like, what the fuck? And then we went into lockdown. I believe for about a month. Like, you know what I mean? They got 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and then it went to 2 months. And I was during them 2 months, I was seeing the videos and all. And then a while later, we seen Derek's video. Derek's video was the one that literally got me up and out. It was fucking the one where they asked him to do the building on the houses, and he says, "What about we'll do them 50-50?" And he says something along the lines like, "No, we'll do that. We'll house the Irish next time." I was like, "Nah, fuck that, man. I had to go out and fucking show support." And then I was, and I get out and doing a few bits and pieces. Oh yeah. We always said I'd never take it to politicians' houses or doors or anything like that until it came to my own door or came to my own family, like, you know what I mean? Then I would. And then, remember the night your man got knocked down? Stephen Bedford knocked your man down in town, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same night that my missus was followed home from City West Shopping Centre. So that night I got home, I seen her wrapped up in the bed, blanket, and I was like, what's going on here? Nothing. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, and she told me, I was like, what the fuck? Next morning, then I was down at fucking Paul Murphy's door, hanging an Ireland flag, or Paul Murphy's fucking office door, hanging an Ireland flag over it and all, and fucking saying, nah, me bollocks, this is not happening, man. Especially not where I live. Like, we moved from the south side to the north side after a mad fucking upbringing, like, and then all this shit down. It's even more so over there, like, you know, the cunts are everywhere, but kind of just seeing all that shit happening, seeing how far back the Irish are being pushed, and I was like, nah, I have to go and start doing something. And it just became more prominent, and just like people started seeing me not giving a fuck. And I think the video that done it for me was the time when the thing in the Ukrainian gig in town, when I walked straight through the middle of them, like about 1,000 and 2,000 celebrating some mad fucking Ukrainian day. And just started shouting Ireland first. What about the Irish first? And got swung around the bloody blah. And that's when cunts started coming to me and recognising me and saying this and saying that. And then I was just kind of almost, I'm not at the forefront, but it was kind of almost pushed as far as I am, you know what I mean? Or dragged even. Like, people just saying, oh, this is Kev, this is a man from that video, and this is and the bloody blah. And I just started getting talking to the people that were kind of at the forefront of it all, and I just don't give a fuck. I was kind of the first one to make them kind of videos where I'm going up to their faces and I'm approaching them and not giving a fuck, because Philip and all kind of we're doing it to a certain point, you know what I mean? But they wouldn't didn't give a rat's. And I think that's what people love. They're like, we need more of this. We need more people that just don't give a fuck, man, that have balls, that are not afraid to get into their faces and say, get the fuck out of here.
I agree with you. Apparently, it's kicking off in Coolock again. The Garda Public Order Unit are charging at locals opposed to the plantation of 500 undocumented male migrants into their community. There's a couple of videos there. I'm not miscalled. Fuck, I'm gonna continue on. Maybe we'll see what happens. It doesn't look, I'm looking at the videos, it doesn't look that serious, but we'll keep an eye on it anyway, because I want to continue this conversation. So you obviously ran for locals, we've seen how that goes, but you're running for general election.
Yeah, it was him and Harman, but yeah, the last word I was thinking, yeah, looking, especially over the last few days, all the shit that's gone on, I'm like, do you know what? Go fuck is I came close last time. I'll run this close again this time. You know what I mean? But and this is why like I kind of put out that whole tweet about the money. Like you know what I mean? I was like, look, if I am elected, I happily
Well,
will.
I'll read it out for people for you, so you don't have to. I'll read the exact tweet
Yeah,
out. I was actually going to bring that up.
yeah,
So he wrote this 2 days ago. If I'm elected in the general election, 50% of the wages across the full 5-year term will be spent on projects around Dublin Bay North and given to charities around the area. 250k over 5 years pumped back into local areas that will give Coolock the stables they deserve. And you did do a part 2 of the tweet, so hold on, I'll get it here. Where is it?
yeah.
To see the way they've done this X now.
Oh, it's
It's
fucking
stupid.
yeah. It's
Where
just
is
about
this?
research into like the benefits, medical wise, the healthcare of like say cannabis, and then like how like I'd like to know how I know how COVID gig is bullshit. Yeah, I'd like to know just how they could find a cure or a vaccine for that so quick, but yet they still can't find a cure for cancer and shit. I want to just pump money back into research and just find out this and find out that and find out the unanswered questions. Like, you know what I mean? Or the unanswered answers. Like, and I don't care about money. I've had money, I've lost it. I don't have money, I've gained it. I don't. It's nothing to me. I don't care. Like, I just as long as I can give something back to the community and the area I grew up in. Like stables, that's something that the lads in Coolock have fought for the last fucking 40 years. And they constantly come in and take the horses, etc., because there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah. You
Give
also
them the
said,
steps. You know what I mean?
and it's not the maximum, it's the minimum of
Yeah,
50% each
yeah,
year, not a
yeah,
penny less. I
yeah.
mean, some people will say, or just plain devil's advocate, that this is a stunt, but you're actually serious about this because I've spoke to you.
I'm
I
deadly
spoke to you
serious
and
about it.
I know your passion. This for you is not about money. This actually for you is protecting your missus, your family, protecting your community, and most importantly, the country.
No, like I always said it, right? You give me a TD job tomorrow, right? 51 weeks of the year, I'd work for free. Give me 5 grand, 10 grand at Christmas, so I can spoil my kids, and then that'd be it. I'd work as a TD for basically 10 grand a year and just give it to me at Christmas so my kids can enjoy it. And I'd work the rest of the year for free.
I mean,
Like,
that
I don't care about money. Like,
yeah, I know,
I
but
mean,
don't
it's,
think any other TD has ever in the history of politics or candidate suggested something like that. But you actually want to use your wage to pump back into local communities and charities. I
yeah.
mean, that's unheard of in Irish
I want to
politics, and you
pump
should
it
be
back. I want
commended
to
for
pump it
something
back
like
into
that.
it and see even like the likes of people trying to start off small businesses. I'd happily give. Yeah, what you need for? Yeah, there's 5 grand there. You show me receipts worth 5 grand. Show me what you're buying. Show me what you're planning on doing. I'll happily give it to you. Set your business up off the ground. Or if there's a boxing club that's going to close down around the corner, what you need to close down 20 grand. Right, give me a couple of months to save that up and the old Roy out for. Yeah, no bother. It's the likes of all that. It's the likes of the shit that's getting taken away from the kids that I want to either give back or even out of the money. Fucking build it myself. Like,
Yeah, you
I
have said
don't
that
care
you
about
want
money.
to.
Money is nothing to me.
It's the youth. I have to say, I love the fact that you want to focus on the youth in your community because let's
Yeah.
be honest, the consecutive governments, even when we were growing up, our parents, the consecutive governments have actually failed the youth. And if you do the things that you're proposing, I mean, that will lift the youth in that area. They will feel for the first time in a long time that there's actually hope for their futures because a lot
Yeah.
of young people, Kevin, in this country, the reason why they act out, let's be honest, is because they don't see any hope for the future
No.
now.
No. Everything they have is getting taken off them because they have nowhere for them. Like they say, oh, we'll build you a new park, we'll build you a new playground. Yeah, that's all well and good. Yeah. What's that gonna be? What's that gonna do for 13-year-olds? A 14-year-old who's flying around on a scrambler or a quad or a sure or an electric bike or something. But build the track for them. There's plenty of green fields around. Instead of putting an asylum centre somewhere But build a bike track or a quad track, or build something for the kids, or the stables, like I said, for the stables. You know what I mean? And so people think, oh, it's just horse stables to be ruined, to be wrecked. You won't, because you'll also have an income, because you can do pony clubs, you can fucking do riding lessons. You can, like, it's not just build stables and let the lads put the horses in there. It'd be stables, it'd be a yard, it'd be a whole continent. You know what I mean? I'm kind of, I was trying to model it on the way the one in Fettercairn is. They have a good stable shed. I think there's about 20 horses or something in it. But then they have a big yard. It's all within the same grounds where they do autistic kids classes now. You know what I mean? They bring the kids with autism out the horses now. This is what I'm saying. Something like that in the middle of Darndale. It's not where it is. The place is for it. It's at the end of Darndale field, the Darndale apartments. It's a big field. It's lying idle for 25 years, 30 years. And it's right beside the N32. So you could literally, it's actually on the N32 basically, straight facing Belcamp College. You could turn in off the road. It's big enough for cars. There's loads of shit you can do around there. People just don't care. Like, these are all for diversity and integration and all this shit. Right? Yeah, that's maybe brilliant if you're into it. It's not for me, right? And it's not for plenty of people that I talk to either. And it's not because I'm a racist either. It's because I care about my own people first. I'd happily get, like, listen. I'm getting sidetracked now away from that, but I want to pump back into the community. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, I had no hope around it. I didn't look. I grew up joyriding and doing all sorts of shit because there was nothing for me to do. And the kids today are doing the same things because there's still nothing for them to do.
So I mean, your experience will put you in the best place to help your community and help these kids because you've been through it before and you know exactly what's needed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? I know what it's like. So
it's but you know, it's that kind of fresh thinking, Kevin, that we actually need, because, you know, let's be honest, you know, the people in power, like, they've gone stale. They're not actually listening to the people. They're so far removed from us, it's unbelievable. If they want to sort out the social issues in this country, well, they've got to get their hands dirty and get in there. But no government has actually done that, got their hands dirty and got in there. And I know from you, you'll be people will see you and you'll be in public. Do you know what I mean? The people will see you, you'll be approachable. They have any worries, they know they can come to Kevin. Like,
that's what I keep saying to people. Like, and people keep pulling me, and they're saying to me as well, like, it's mad, like, you're down here now, but like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we're on boards all around the place now. I was like, because I'm one of you. I'm not like them. I was like, what's the story with the picture and all? Like, I was like, that's me. I could have had a tight or nicer shave. I could have got a tight or nicer haircut, but I walk around with my hair messy every day with a big enough beard. I don't wear suits and shorts and ties and all that bullshit. That's why I had a nice little grey jumper on, and I had the hair. This is exactly why I had that kind of beard and that hair, because that's me. And even if I was elected into TD, do you think I'd be walking around in a suit and tie and all? I wouldn't be bollocks. Walking around with probably a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and a pair of Air Max, or fucking like some, like, you know what I mean? I'm just an ordinary joke soap like the rest of these, man. And nothing can corrupt me. You can wave £1 million in my face and say, turn your back on your people, and be like, go fuck yourself.
And that's what we need. We need people that are incorruptible.
I'm sorry for the effing and blinding now. We like,
it's grand. You can do that on this channel. You know, YouTube is kind of all right. We just have to be careful with certain words they don't like, and we try to avoid them, self-censor. I know, I hate it, but that's just YouTube for you. So Paul O'Neill is saying that his comments are disappearing. Listen, I think it's YouTube, because some people's comments have been disappeared. Now, I have removed someone that was a troll, and it says that I've removed them. So it does say if I remove comments, and I haven't removed any of your comments, Paul. I actually value everything that you have to say. You're very passionate. So
we have freedom of speech over here.
Yeah, so it could be, it's probably YouTube. So, you know, all I'll say is, you know, there's ways of getting around it. I don't know what you actually wrote in the message. I'm pretty sure it came up here actually on StreamYard. Hold on, let's see if I can actually get it up. So there you go. You praising Kevin there. You asked where your comments are going. Hold on. Cork, not Coolock. Let's see. See, StreamYard is different. If you put it up on, once it goes up there, Is this the one you're talking about? Oh, I didn't
that's
know
true. I only
that.
seen that this morning as well.
Wow. See, I have to be careful what I say here, but I've said
We know what you're thinking.
yeah, this whole movement, right, is being led by the wrong person, in my opinion, and they don't have the backbone to do what needs to be done. And I'll just say it out straight. I don't give a shit. As I said, I'm not here for a popularity contest, right? We're in serious trouble in this country, and we need proper planning going ahead, right? Not acting illegal, by the way, right? By every legal means that we can. And then when we run out of options,
then it's played.
Then that's when it starts off. But we should exhaust every fucking avenue first. But we're not going to get anywhere. And I guarantee I called it, right? And I guarantee it'll happen. There'll be a protest in relation to what happened in Coolock. If anything else kicks off, they'll call a protest. And as I said, it's a waste of fucking time, right? There has to be proper planning put in place. But if that's the comment you're talking about, see, it's on StreamYard. So once you put it in here, it'll come up. Well, I'm not actually censoring you. I'd never do that. You know, we only get rid of the trolls, the ones that are deliberately trying to fucking antagonize people in the chat. And we get rid of them because I have no time for that bollocks. Anyway,
yeah, no, but when I seen that video this morning, I thought the same as what everybody else is thinking. So what the fuck is going on here? Like, but look, it is what it is. There's nobody really, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say I lead it because I wouldn't. Like, but who else is going to, like, Maliki? But did they do the same with Newtown when that shit happened with Newtown that time? We called it's funny you, Chris, was Maliki, Gavin Pepper, Derek Boy being there last night for 4 opportunities, disappears, big respect, Patrick, understanding. Funny with the Coolock people. Yeah, I like Patrick, I do.
Yeah, he seems like a very honest bloke. That video of him, I think he really went up in a lot of people's estimations. But he wasn't just there for a photo opportunity. And we can't say that for all, let's just say. But Patrick, the young man is doing, you know what, fair play to him.
He's doing brilliant. Patrick, I knew, right, he's been up to the Coolock camp a few times. I had a few conversations. You know what I mean? There's one of the times the young one was playing a match down in Coolock Village, and while he was playing, he floated up and we had a chat, and chatting to him for about half an hour, I'd say. And when he got back on his bike and went away, I was like, that's a man that knows what he's doing and knows what he's talking about as well. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I would have, this is going to be probably a bit controversial to some people, blah blah, but I'd walk under.
Are you going to, I'll ask it out straight, are you going to stay independent, or are you thinking of joining this coalition that they've created? Have you thought about it? You don't have to answer yes or no.
I will. I'm still in the independent boat for now, and like that's where I'd more than likely be come the end of it. But a few people have texted me about the alliance and everything else, and one or two want to meet up with me soon enough and chat about it. But a lot of people are telling me, like, Kev, why should you undo all of the work you've done as an independent to go and join the party? And I'm like, nah, you're right. Like, you know what I mean? But it's people that you haven't really approached anybody about joining.
Yeah.
Well, I have. I've sent out one or two messages about information regarding all right and what's the gig and what's going on, because I thought it was going to be a nationwide thing. Like, everyone was going to, like, every nationalist party and every nationalist independent was going to come together, and we were just going to sweep right through the country.
But unfortunately, let's be honest, I think in some nationalist movement, there's a bit of ego.
Too much.
Whereas the three that came together have to be praised because they put ego aside and they put their differences aside to form this alliance. And we're going to need that going forward, Kevin, though. That is important, though, isn't it? We need a kind of a united front for the general election.
Yeah. I agree, yeah. And I was quite surprised because I did think that out of all the ones that I heard were in conversation, I thought the National Party would have been the one not to join because they're around the longest, aren't they? So we would have thought, no, like we're doing our own gig a long time. Like Freedom Party, they're only around 5 years, aren't they? Or 6 years or something.
Yeah.
And then the Oil and Force is only around about 3 years, 2 years, I think. So,
I think that's what that puts everybody off there, though, as Jim Kay has put. You know, they call it a brand. And for me, anybody that calls it a brand, I'm sorry, you know, Irish politics, as far as I'm concerned, is not, you know, it's not to be messed around with. We're in a serious situation. I hate people that go on. Someone called them, in fairness, someone called them what Nigel Farage like. But that's their opinion. But look, at the end of the day, I'm glad the three party staff came together, and they've asked other nationalists to join them in this alliance, that when it goes to running candidates, that they don't conflict with each other. And I think that's absolutely fantastic, Kevin. But a bit more about what you're going to do, because it's obviously about you, Kevin. And as you said, you don't do many interviews, so we've got you here. So we might as well capitalize on that. So you've spoke about Darndale and stuff like that. Can I ask you when you're officially going to be getting out there canvassing? Because, you know, I think it'd be a good idea to kind of let people know, because the reason why, you know, volunteers are very important to any candidate. You seen it with Maliki; he had a fucking army of volunteers. But we're not. But listen, if you ask for it, if you need help, man, I'll come over and I'll give you a hand.
Yeah, right? No, you said it. No, you said it. Yeah, 100%.
But that's what I'm saying. We need to get you more support, more volunteers out there to help you reach a wider net for this general election, because I feel good about this general election, I have to say, with certain candidates like yourself, and I'm pretty sure you will make your mark again. But yeah, when are you officially kicking off your election campaign?
Well, I was going to get out there, which you know what, to be honest, the plan, funny enough, I was going to start yesterday. I was going to start Monday. I said to myself Sunday night, I was like, right, this is it. I've had a couple of weeks off doing a few things. I'm going to get out, and then obviously that was put on hold. So probably either be the end of this week or probably early next week. Like, there's a few things on as well. So I was just going to start now. I'm not really going to be going around Coolock, so to speak. Like, it's Dublin Bay North, because obviously they're going known around there. They're going to have a good bit of base around here, but I think I'm going to start out by Hout way and work my way kind of back up and back in, you know what I mean? Because I'm kind of known up around these ends. I'm not so, like, I probably would be known down in the likes of Clontarf and Hout and something and all as a bit of a fucking whatever, like, you know what I mean? But it's trying to get out there and just have chats with them on the street. What's that vibe? What do they want? Like, what's on their mind? What problems are they having? What issues? Like, what's going on around that? Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's different ball game now. It's TD, like, it's national problems. It's national level. You know what I mean? Now, no, it's only Dublin Bay North area, but it's country level. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. I'm not local. It wouldn't be a local council.
Well, you'll be representing a lot of fucking people. You know.
That's that's my point. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll have more of a say. Like, I'll have more power. Not like using the word power. Like, but I mean,
you'll have more of an impact.
I mean, of a stronger voice. I mean, the doll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not only going to Dublin City Council meetings once a month. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, I'll be in the doll. I'll be there. I'll be seeing on television. There's no way. Like, if someone said to me, Kev, go in there and bring this subject up. No bother. I'll bring her up tomorrow. I go into the doll. I don't bring her up, and I go and tell them, yeah, I've said that. It's all good. Yeah.
They have to give you an opportunity to speak in the doll. That's the thing. You can't be ignored like the media are ignoring now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I won't be able to lie to people about Anne. Not that I would, but if I, like I said, I told a little while ago, yeah, I said that to them today in the doll, and it went all good. Yeah, they'd be like, just go on and watch it on the telly. I just go on and watch it on an app. They didn't bring that up, you can't, you know what I mean? And it's like, But I'm not like
Lady
that.
of area, he'll be putting on his phone voice. You know the way when you talk on the phone, some people push it up on the
Tell
phone.
me bollocks. You
My
answering me.
sister
What's the
does that.
crack?
My
What's
sister
going
does
on?
that, right? She's completely different on the phone. She fucking pushes it up on the phone. I give her some fucking slagging over it. But Lady of Era's comment, you will have to talk very snobbers
I
in
will
them
not.
areas. Well,
No way. Imagine answering the phone. Hello, how are you?
I'm Kevin
Get
Coyle.
the fuck. Yeah, what's the crack? All right, what's up? What you need there? No, but look, serious, serious head on, okay? I won't take no shit. And they know that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'll have more of a pull, more of a say. I'll be in there. People can see what I'm saying. People can see what I'm doing. I won't take shit. And like regarding the whole like immigration thing, like I'm all about fair. I'm all about a fair system. But I'm also like this shit needs to be capped. You know what I mean? Like we need like if I had a bit of a say, like what I did was I could halt this immigration system ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a hard border or not, I don't fucking know. But something to that point until we can get a grip on things. Ireland is full for now. Yeah, until we sort this shit out, and we look after our own people first. Until we get a proper immigration system in where they are all fucking. Like, what I do is, like, once you close this border, every single centre and hotel that you planted these men in, go back around it, go back around them, uh, fingerprint them, DNA them, take bloods off them, run them through a criminal database and a non-criminal database, get everything about them. And the ones that have a serious criminal past, yeah, you're gone. The ones that have, like, obviously the ones that are wanted, yeah, you'll be gone. You know what I mean? And that's it. And then I'd separate the genuine families from the single females, and then single males seeking refuge. I tell you, we look at single Irish males don't have a hope, single foreign males don't have a hope. It's gonna sound harsh, but I don't give a fuck. Would happily welcome in women, like families who are genuine, yeah, but they will not be put ahead of one Irish person, not a fucking chance. But they'll still happily take them in. But single males coming in, especially in the droves now, like, nah, turn around, they're going to be no place in this country for male single asylum seekers. It's as simple as that. Until we get a grip on sorting out our own single males in this country. Because as it stands now, single Irish males don't have no hope. Whether you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 5 kids, you haven't a fucking chance. And the simple as that, we need to start prioritising our Irish people first. And that's that, because like Mick, like, I always disagreed with Mick O'Keefe for a long time, right? When he used to say there's too many foreigners in this country. What the fucking is? For now. Right, Ireland is full, but now we need to stop all this shit and start looking at our own people first. Because, like, remember when it snowed there a few months back, and the left and NGO and the government are in fucking up in arms. Oh, there's migrants out, there's homeless people. Yeah, there's homeless Irish people sleeping now on that way the last 10, 15, 20 fucking years. You haven't done anything for them. You have homeless people down in that canal 10 years, and that are
Yeah,
given out because NGOs have never came near them. Like, oh,
yeah.
where have you been for us? Or what have you done for us? No, nothing. And this is what I'm saying. You need more people like me in the like genuinely. I don't really keep much tabs on the doll and on TV and shit like that. Like, so obviously I know one who's definitely 100% on our side. Yeah, one Carol Nolan, yeah. But bar her, I don't know anyone else. Because I'm hearing
No,
shit
the rest of
about
them.
Matty McGrath, and then I'm hearing Matty McGrath saying slow shit about Derek Lyon, about this person, about that person,
No,
about
he
that.
is. He is. See, the thing about them is that a lot of them will reveal themselves very quickly. Remember, Senator, what's her face, Sharon, whoever, everybody was blowing smoke up her ass, but then she signed that fucking racist pact thing or something that all the candidates, they wanted the candidates to sign for local and European elections. Remember the racist fucking thing that they had to sign, and she
Yeah.
signed it. So some of these people
Right.
are a load of bollocks. Carol, the jury for me is still out on her though, because
Yeah.
I think she was approached and
Fair point.
she said no. And you know, if she has the
Yeah.
same beliefs, you know, she has to get away from this far right narrative. You know, then we're not
Anybody
far
who even
right.
mentions far right, yeah, like it's like, oh, far
We're
right.
not far right. We're concerned.
When someone mentions far right, someone in the door or whoever mentions far right, somebody's an opposition should turn around and say, "Oh, stop you there. There is no far right." Now, I said that in my questionnaire. I was giving them my questionnaire thing, before the local elections and all. And the last question on it was, anyone else is in the comments around, Frigg is still there, I don't know, but he might have got it. He probably didn't even do it. I was asked to do it. And one of the questions was, how do we combat the rise of far right and anti-LGBT and racist propaganda and all. And my response was, now I read through loads of people. Everybody else in our time we had. Now Rowan Croft around didn't do it. One or two others didn't do it. But they were all like, oh, well, we need to do this to combat the far right, and this to combat this, and this to combat that. I just straight up, like I always said, I firmly believe there is no far right in this country, just genuine concerned parents. You know what I mean? It was a kind of shortish answer, and I was like, I also believe that overly sexualized material, explicit material, should not be shown to minors in children, especially not primary school children. And I just went totally against everybody else's answer because that's who I am. I never go against myself. I stick to my beliefs. If I believe something wrong, I believe something's wrong, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even in the doll, I would be one of these. I wouldn't change my way. I wouldn't be, will you sign this or will you sign that? I'd be like, nope, 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 and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I do that. And regarding the housing situation, I wouldn't grant permission for houses to be built unless 95% of the houses are going to Irish people who are on lists and all that stuff. Like, that's all I'd be fighting for. Like the Oscar Traynor situation up here, yeah, Glenveigh. That land was given to them for free, and now they'd be charging up to probably around 400 grand for a gaff. And the land is given for free. It needs to be public housing, public land, and only a small portion of them houses are going to be for social housing. That will end up like Belcamp College. The tiny portion of them houses were given for social housing, and the rest was sold to a vulture fund who now charge between 3,000 and 3,300 euro per month for the house.
Wow.
And that's the same that's going to happen up on the Oscar Traynor. And it has on the billboards now. Part of the project, or in 2030 or 2040, part of the project Housing for All. Like, you know what I mean? And it's supposed to be a big, massive complex. It's only going to be 146. Now, I'm not exactly bang on the number, but it's not too far off. 146 properties are going to be ready up on the Oscar Traynor Road there by Q4 this year, which is winter time. And 13 of them 146 houses are going to social housing.
Wow.
13 out of around 150. And the rest are going to be sold to vulture fund.
You would think if they wanted to kind of solve the housing crisis that they say, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of giving 13 houses, we'll say, how many say? 150, say 150 houses, right? We'll give 140 social housing and the 10 to help some whatever, right? Families.
That's why I said I see prayers of that I can't know about the fucking that language. 100% of houses for the Irish. Yeah, that would be the ideal plan, but you will never get permission, planning permission to build houses and all like that. You're just going to be like, no. That's like similar to what Nowley said. If it's 150 houses, give 140 or 145 of them to Irish and give 5 or 10 of them to.
See, you couldn't do that until we get a nationalist government in place, folks. I get what you are saying, but you couldn't really do that in reality right now at the moment. But I just want to bring up Fergus Power's comment here because there's an event happening next Tuesday as well. So High Court next Tuesday, 10 a.m. I'm asking Patrick McGreal to do a video of the case he's bringing against the government. It will be done tomorrow night. When I put it out, share it everywhere. I'll put it up here on YouTube and tag the two yous in it, put the link description like I do with Kevin's videos when I throw them up. I always try to give, on this channel, when I throw up a videos, give the credit to the person that's actually fucking made the video, because a lot of that shit goes around and people don't give the credit where it's due. But I will be there outside the High Court Tuesday, because this is a protest actually worth going to. So I've put up his whole tweet in the community post if you want to go and read it, and when that video is done, Fergus more than likely will share it to me, and then I'll throw it up on the channel for you, and then hopefully I'll see a lot of you there Tuesday. Listen, this is a protest worth going to. Read what he has said. He's put out a lot of information and he's going to put it in video form tomorrow as well. But just wanted to mention that anyway. But thanks, Fergus in the chat. I love it.
Fergus in the gaff.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at the
This big far right arse with that questionnaire thing.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I was at the Coof March with him recently, the rally outside, the protest outside News Talk, where a letter was being delivered to the scumbags. But it was very sobering, it was, because I met a lot of people that had been affected by the Coof jab. And yeah, it's sickening, but we won't get into that because YouTube are bastards when it comes to that.
Right,
yeah, so we can't really say much, but
no, look,
yeah.
just getting back to the general
the housing and stuff. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's just like that. Like, I didn't want to do this, you know what I mean? I'm being forced to do it because I'm looking at everybody else who's running, and they're all for this shit. This gonna sound a bit controversial, right? It's not. I don't support fully. Like, yeah, we need a bit of integration. We need a bit of diversity, but we don't need to be a minority. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain limit here. You know what I mean? Like, we do, like, yeah, nurses, doctors, all that shit, but like, it's all these current local councils and TDs and all that are in place. They're all for doing it above Irish people. Like, you know, they're all about putting everybody else's needs above the Irish's. And
yeah, but think about it.
That's kind of what I've done. Like, I would literally just be another voice in the doll to go against the narrative, to go against the system. Like the Migration Pact, that failed passed by four votes. You know what I mean? So like, we need more people in there to constantly just keep it going. All this shit that they keep rushing in and passing through. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
It annoys me, and like I said, like the kind of the background that I have. If I'm an honest person, anybody asks me, I give you an honest fucking answer. I don't care if it upsets you or not. You know what I mean? And I'll always stick to me guns from day one. I am all about putting Ireland first and the Irish people first, and I would be happy. I'd be happily willing to look after some foreigners, but they won't be getting looked after ahead of my own people.
Here's the thing: you said it was controversial what you said, but if you tie it in what you're trying to do with the youth, and that was done on a national level where we looked after the youth, if you think about it logically, if we actually have skills, we wouldn't need as many migrant nurses, engineers, blah blah blah, because we'd be able to keep our own nurses and engineers here instead of them moving to Australia, America, or wherever they go. That's the issue that we actually have. The government allows our people to leave here en masse.
Yeah, exactly. We have some of the best, like they do say it, we have some of the best, like Irish nurses and doctors and all, are some of the best in the world. And then why not keep them here? Stop employing doctors and nurses from all around the world.
But it's cheaper labour, and also they're not giving enough to keep them.
We need to give them an incentive. You know what I mean? And we start look, this is going to sound a bit weird as well. Like Gaddafi gave his own people the incentive to have kids. You have kids, you have more kids, you have 10 grand or 20 grand, go start a family. You know what I mean? Like, we need to start being able to put back into Irish people's pockets so they can't start having more than one kid and two kids and just being able to fucking survive above the breadline. You know what I mean? And another thing that I put out on social media as well, like, I don't mean this how it's going to sound, throw money at people, like, but if someone come to me and says, look, I'm around there in the house of no gas, of no ESB or anything, because there's 20 quid. What you stuck for a beer grub? Yeah, I'll go get the bread, milk, sugar. I'll go get to the basics.
Like, I know you would. That's the thing. People don't know you. I've met you. I know you would do that. You'd
they have plans for trying to put apartments in the middle of Darndale, going right through the middle of Darndale.
No way.
Literally, man. And when they had the old shops there years ago. Even that was clamped. But you're at to build more houses since the shops have been knocked down. But now they want to put apartments right through the middle of it. It's not going to work. There's a good green space there. They can easily put, I don't know, some sort of a centre or something, or some sort of something there. It's not an asylum centre or like this build apartment or something. Put like a mental health service in the thing. Or put like something for art. Like, there's a lot of autistic and Down syndrome kids around Darndale and Belcamp and shit like that. Put some big massive centre even in one part where the old shops was, and then keep the green field for them to go out onto and do this.
Yeah. That's the thing.
To just build on, man. And that's what's annoying me, because like they're literally trying to clam you in. You can barely see the sun these days when you walk around. Like, it's just high-rise buildings everywhere, and like apartments in the middle of Darndale. Even if they was given to 100% Irish people, it still won't work, because it's the only green space in the middle of Darndale, and you're taking it away.
See, this is the thing as well. A few years back, a member of Boys Own, I think it was a Keith or something, one of his kids was autistic. And he had to set up services here himself. He used his own money to set up services for kids with autism before the government actually did something in this country. But you're absolutely right. My wife worked with kids with autism and all sorts in America. She was a teacher.
Two of
Right?
my
So
nephews. I have 5 nephews. 3 of them have it. My stepson is on the spectrum. You know what I mean?
that's
One of my
this is the
cousins is
thing.
severely on it. Needs like, it's around me, and that's why I care so much about it. Like that, 3 weeks ago, there I was asked to go on to it's not the board, it's on the committee of a creche there up in Kilmore. There's 22 kids in it. They have disability. I think a few of them have disabilities and all, etc. And the parish is trying to the bishop is trying to take the land back off them. You know what I mean? So they had to meet the committee there the other day. They said, no, look, there was other local councils, elected councils now, sitting councils who asked to go on it, and they said, no, we want Kevin on it, we want him find the corner and also like, and there was an honor and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm actually being asked to be on the committee or a board of a fucking of a creche or like a school there, like, you know what I mean? And it kind of shows to me is that in the last few years people have like gained an awful lot of respect for me to the extent that they want me on that, and I'm not afraid to say, yeah, well, I do support them, and I will stand with them, and I do this, and I do that, because I will happily do it. I will give it back tenfold, like I said.
But again, very important to highlight, right? Personal experience here, right? So anybody questioning, he's, because we heard this when some people got elected in the locals, they don't have the experience. Well, neither did Ming Flanagan and all, Ming the Merciless, as I call him, and all of these other gobshites like Breed and all it is. They all got elected in and hadn't got a clue what they were doing, but they learned on the job, right? But the difference is that they got greedy, saw the amount of money that they could make, and they became corrupt. Whereas this man is uncorruptible. He genuinely wants to help. Look at the things that you've spoke about tonight, Kevin. If that was done in your area alone,
my area in 10 years' time would be absolutely fucking thriving. In 10 years' time, if I done everything if the plans I have for my area, are implemented, but start of all, if I get elected and I do, obviously, if I get elected, they will be done. That's no ifs, no buts about it. They will be done. Might take a bit of time, but they will be done. And the Irish people's best interest to be at heart. And simple as. And that's it. It's like my area will probably be like people probably talking about Darndale the way they talk about like where Dalkey or Dunleary or all these little fucking posh places like, hey, see how well Darndale is doing now. Like, I remember that 10 years ago. I remember that 20 years ago. It was a shithole. It was this, it was that. Now they have this and they have that, and it's everything. Like, you can actually walk through Darndale now, and it's lovely. They don't walk through Darndale and be like, Jesus, this is a kip. You walk through and you be like, you know what? Like, that man has actually done great. And that's all I want to do. Like, people think I'm not serious about it. Like, and that's all I'd say. Like, I've even said it to the lads. Like, if I am elected, I'm currently looking into it now. I'm looking at the price of the land. Excuse me, where we could potentially put the stables, like, you know what I mean? And if I could afford it over 5 years council wages, I wouldn't care if it took 500 grand and it's 100 grand yearly salary. That 500 grand would go into buying that land. So it would be mine, and then we would walk on putting the stables on it. I don't, like I said, man, I would happily live off a couple of grand a year. I'd pump the money back into everything that needs to be done. If someone come to me with a good idea, Kev, look at this and look at that, I'll look into it straight away. I'll look into this, man. I won't be, I'll get back to you. Or I'll ring you now, or I'll ring you tomorrow, and then I don't ring for 2 months. Like, you'd see me walking around. I'd be walking around the area every day. And I see that there, Anne-Marie McDonald, loyalty is lost on some people. And that's, but with me, it's not, like, you know what I mean? I'm loyal to my own people, and that's how I always will be. People that are loyal to me, get me in here, trust me. But what 2024, I guarantee you by 2030, at least you will see, you'll be like, Jesus Christ. Now, I know I said 10 years, but 10 years would be probably about 8 years of work and 8 years of money going into the area. You know what I mean? But 5 years after the first term, you would definitely see a great fucking change, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Like I said earlier with the whole money thing, if someone says to me, I need 20 grand, they'll be great, give me 2 months, let me save her up, and then I'll give it to you. Or I go, yeah, can I get this or that? And I'll pump it back into all sorts. Drug addiction services, mental health services, local boxing clubs, football clubs. If clubs need money for a bit, like the Kilmore situation, for instance. Kilmore had I think they're going through a bit of shit now over land, etc. In the last 20 or 30 years, they tried to buy a bit of land there on the Oscar Trainer, and they just haven't no good. Like, they're an intermediate side, they're not an amateur side anymore, so they need proper facilities like running shower, proper changing rooms, etc. And they just can't get them. No local councils or TDs will put up a fight for it. If I was elected, I would fucking give them the money out of the ways myself. If they said to me, Kev, it's going to cost us 100 grand to build the yoke, they would agree. Can you wait a year? So can you wait 18 months for it? And if they're willing to wait a year or 18 months for it, I'd save her up. And there you go. There's 100 grand anyway. There's your dressing room now. Go thrive now. Turn this club from an intermediate into a professional club one day. Go challenge in the League of Ireland, or go do this and go that. And same with Leicester. Leicester are probably one of the better teams around the area. If they wanted to take that next step up, I would happily pump money into that club as well.
Because it helps the whole. But people will look at that, but it helps. I don't think people realise how essential a football club is to a community. Because
it helped me. That's what I'm saying. Like all these things, like even when I was going through my bad phase in life, one thing I stuck there was a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Saturday. Football, train Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because if I didn't, 33, I wouldn't be here now. To be honest, if it wasn't for football, I wouldn't be here. And it's like that with boxing for a lot of people as well, or MMA or any type of combat sport. Like, they choose to go in there to take their anger out on a bag or a mat or a this or a that, instead of going and getting a bag or a few pills or this and that. Like, and that, that's all. Like, I'd be walking out in the streets, and I'm not afraid. In the local elections, for instance, yeah, I went into a square that's called the Crack Square, right? And not many people would walk into. Rowan Croft certainly wouldn't walk into, right? And I walked in, there's a couple of the boys there, and I was like, all right, lads, what's that? And they could see them weird because I had the clipboard and all, the leaflets, and I was like, lads, says, it's all good. So it's all right. Says, I'm not here to do this. I says, I'm just here leaving. I says, these things you're doing here, I says, I've done the exact same things over the years. I says, so we can't begrudge it. I says, just don't be doing it in the open, or just don't be doing this thing, just don't be doing that, or blah blah blah. But and I was asking them, because, do you like doing this or this, or blah blah? Like, I wouldn't go and grass on someone like this and that. I'd be trying to help them, or try and get them away from that life. You know what I mean? Instead of going to a copper and saying, look, at these are over here doing this, or these are over here doing that, I'd pull them aside. I'd see them walking down the road, and they'd be like, yeah, because I know a lot of kids that are doing shit don't like doing it. They're doing it because they want to feel loved, or they want to feel this, or they want to feel that. I'd pull them aside, like, do you like doing that? And they probably tell you, no, you probably get 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20, but you might get one that tell you, no, I don't do it. I'm doing it because I've no other choice. And you'd be like, well, you do have another choice. You can stop doing it, or you can do it. And you give them, it's all about giving kids and giving people options, giving people choices. If people feel like they have no choice, they have no option, what are you going to do? They're going to ring someone, have you got this? Have you got that? Or come on, we go rob this, or come on, we go rob that. And then they're ending up in jail, and then they're potentially getting out of jail, strung out on drugs. And then it's just a revolving door system. I'm trying to stop that. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give them an incentive. I'm trying to give them shit to do. I'm trying to, like the horses, for instance. They won't be walking around the area with them, or they won't be leaving them tied up on this field or that field. They'll be well looked after. They'll be in by a certain time at night. They'll be out by a certain time in the morning. If it's rained, they won't be left on the field uncovered or this and that. They'll be in safe, sound, still getting fed, water, everything else. Like I said, same with football clubs. You need changing rooms. There you go. You need this, do that. Gym, boxing gym. You need new bags. You need new this. You need new that. There you go. I'm not about leaving people waiting. Like I said, even down with the phone call. If I see a missed call on the phone, it's 11 o'clock at night, I'll ring you back. You text me at 1 o'clock in the morning. If I'm awake, I'll text you fucking back. If you send me an email at 5 o'clock in the morning, if I'm awake, I will never see an email, but I'll get back to that later. If someone sends me a message or rings me and I'm there and I wake up, bang, straight away. But no matter what time, I won't be one of these that clock off. I'll walk all around the clock, man. Because I care about my people and I care about my area. I don't want my people and my area, and certainly my country, falling in to the hands of these devils, these fucking WEF and WHO worshippers. That's what they do. They worship these people and these organizations. That's what they do. They no longer consider themselves Irish. They now consider themselves European. I would never, until the day I die, same with my kids, same with any of my family, would never consider themselves as a European. I'm Irish. I was born Irish. I would die Irish. Same with my fucking children. Same with future generations of my children to come as well. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take away Irish nationality, Irish heritage, Irish fucking culture. Will not happen in my family, and that's a fucking fact. And as long as I live, I fucking fight to keep that. Simple as get me in the door. Listen, if there's anybody in here that's in the Dublin Bay North area, tell your fucking people, vote for this fucking man, and you will see fucking change, man. And I'm sorry about the fucking this and that, blah blah. I'm 33 years of
No, but
age.
you're a straight talker.
Yeah, it's the way I grew up. I can't just change my ways overnight. I won't change my ways overnight. I won't change my ways for anybody. But that's what I'm saying. We just need more people. And I really think I'd be a breath of fresh air in the door. People look at me and they're like, Jesus Christ, he would do this. He would do that. You know what I mean? And it's not. I wouldn't be afraid to jump up if someone has a minute to speak and they're saying something I don't like or they're saying something. So I wouldn't give a fuck about interrupting them. I'd jump and say, that's bullshit, or this or that. And it's what people are afraid of. People are afraid to upset people. People are afraid to stand on people's fucking toes. And I'm not, because most of these people, and it kind of ties in with what I was going to say next, just quickly about the hate speech, right? The people that are trying to implement these hate speech laws have never took a good punch in the fucking face, because if they did, they would be able to know, oh, well, a few hurty words, it's not really that bad as a punch in the face. Yeah, exactly. So keep running by you, get another one. You know what I mean? That's the problem. These people are growing up with silver spoon in the mouth. They don't know. Well, like I said, I'm 33 years of age. I fought every day in my life. Many different battles, and I'm sure I will continue to fight until the day I die and the day I take my last breath, because my children need me and my family depend on me. But more important, my community and my country also need to depend on people like me. Not Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the Green, Sinn Féin. Look at Sinn Féin and people before profit looking to come together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Come on, do you know what I mean? So it's
that's what I mean, guys. He's have no real options here, because they're all practically the same, and they might have different names, but they're all the same, because, as Kevin has just done there, money is a big drive for all of these. They're all making money out of this situation, every single one of them.
And hell, but any of them that's making the big money dip into their pocket for it. And give on back? Nah, man, absolutely not. I'd be looking to abolish TD. I'd be looking to abolish. See all these cunts that are all like that. Were in politics 20 years ago, 30 years ago. That's still on the pension. All that be gone. All the looks of all. See anybody that's a past politician that has fucked this country over, which is 99% of them over the last. Well, I would say 100 years, but the ones around 100 years ago are dead now. But certainly the ones that have fucked this country over in the last few years, all their pensions, all their cushy money, all their cushy everything would be gone. And see all the men that are making vast amount of money on this, they'd be all fucking bankrupt. Trust me. And if any of you are listening, I see this at a later date, is will all be bankrupt before I'm elected. Trust me on that. Because every single cent of your money has been made illegally, and it will all be done by treason and tyranny. And that's another thing as well, actually, just before I'm going to go in a minute, yeah? It's another thing I'll do. We'll bring forward legislation to bring back the death penalty for treason and tyranny against our own people. And then once that legislation is signed in and passed into law, if, please God, what the first people will be going after is Leo, Mihal, Helen, all these cunts, that's what we'll be doing. And it will give people like future potential government TDs or government officials, etc. They would think twice. Well, hold on a minute, this fucker is going after the death penalty for treason and tyranny against in the government setting. Like, do you get me? Don't fuck over your own people, or you're going to face the death penalty.
Yeah,
simple as these cunts need to be held accountable. And if people like me get into power, I will fight until the day I die to see them people face justice for what they've done to our country.
Here. Fergus said good night, God bless. Great chat, boys. Spoke from the heart, because it's the only place you know where to speak from. One of my favourite people I met on this journey, you too, Noli. And Fergus, you're a legend, man. You were the guy that inspired me, as Kevin was speaking, Derek inspired him and others. I was inspired by you. And I'll never forget it. And just like what you've said, I've made some real friends. I actually keep in touch with some and meet some for coffee. And I've met some wonderful people. But Kev, you've been an absolute delight tonight. Everybody
I just want to touch on Shawnee there for a second there. The people who own the asylum centre in Coolock are saying 38 million from refugee centres in the last 3 years. I looked into it today, yeah, and one of it, he owns a company called Townbee Limited, and one of the owners now live in Switzerland, avoiding serious tax. I rang their office out in Swords today. Was on to a woman called Kira, and I said, look, I'm looking to speak to Paul Collins. That's his name. Your man who owns it, his name is Paul Collins. He's the one that's overseeing the Crown Paints now. She said he's currently not here, so I said, he wouldn't be in Switzerland avoiding tax by any chance, would he? And she was like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about that. I just work here for him. I was like, yeah. She goes, I just work here. She goes, yeah. Well, where you're working, I says, he owns. I says he's made 38 million off asylum centres and planting areas with refugees over the last 3 years. And you could hear her on the phone saying, like, and she was like, can I get a number off? I was like, no. I says, Thursday, 4 o'clock. I says, we'll be out our business at 4 in Swords. I said, to be 3 of us. I said, so if you can pass on the message to me, I'm there. There'll be no violence, no aggression, no anger, no nothing, no threats or anything. I said, we just want to have a conversation with him to see why he's doing this, and basically tell him it's not going to happen, but there'll be no trouble. I just had to put that across to her on the phone, you know what I mean? So they can't say that. But there will be no trouble. But we just look at Switzerland, always a place for global. Yeah, listen, he's there for a reason. And when I got through to her on the phone, she was like, what the fuck? But this is me. I find out information like this, I go digging, I find out shit because I'm not afraid to call it out. I'm not afraid to upset people. And like I said, that's another one. Paul Collins, if you're listening, or any of your family are listening, see that 38 million you've made over the last 3 years, it'd be gone. The likes of me, Gideon, be gone. You'd be bankrupt.
Oh, you'd be paid the 38 million back.
Yeah, 40 million nearly back into the country and the communities that you fucking destroyed. But yeah, that's him. Yeah, it's been a lot of digging and a lot of work has gone into him. Yeah, 100%. He's a door, and that's like most of them, like the McInerney's. Where are they in Waterford? Are they? Or they're somewhere down there. They've made millions.
Yeah.
Well, look, just goes to show you, these people would prefer money over that family safety. Like I said, there's no money and no property in this country or in the world that you could offer me, turn me back on me, people. And you know why? Because I don't want my children, grandchildren.
Well, here's the thing: in the short term, they have great lives.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Don't realise in the short term they'll have great lives, but they've just fucked future generations of their own family.
That's what I was saying. Like, I thought well and good for me. I could take this shit. I could take 10 million tomorrow and go buy loads of guns, and go buy this and go buy that and go fight with it. But what good will that do my daughter? Or her kids, or her kids. They will always be remembered as that fucker that sold us the world and fucking sold us out. Wouldn't be what? Like I just said, I'd take it. I'd happily, like, not happily, like, but if I did do it, I'd fight it. Like, it wouldn't be like water off a duck's back to me, but it's my children in the long term. Like I said earlier, at the very start, I'm thinking long term now. 33 years of age, I've lived my life, all about my kids and my friends' kids and the country's kids in the future. You know what I mean?
Well said. Here.
Oh.
Before you do leave us, would you like to? Do you want to let everybody know about your social media, where they can find you if they're interested in what you have?
Well, I'm just Kevin Coyle on Facebook. I'm Kevin Coyle Independent on TikTok. I have another TikTok page as well called Jihadi Jack. that's just the mock one that takes the piss out of everything. And then obviously my Instagram, which is Kevin Coyle as well. Yeah, that's it. I don't think I have any more. I think my Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, Instagram is Kevin Coyle. Same with me X and the other ones that I just said. Yeah, but Nowly, this is the first one I've done. It's probably a bit ropey. Probably didn't touch base on everything, but like I said, and you said at the very start to introduce me, I don't talk to social media, so this will just be, I don't talk to mainstream media around, you know what I mean? So this will just be the first of many.
Well, here, as Ferg said, it just came straight from the heart. We just went with the flow, as you said. We just go with the flow. And even if we didn't touch everything, I think you got enough out there to let people know and to see that you are an honest man and you'll do right by not just your community, but as you said, the Irish people. I just wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. You're more than welcome back on here. You have a platform here whenever you want, mate. And if you need help, man. As I said, give me a message. Let me know, man, and I'll be down. I'll give you a hand, whatever you need. All right.
Yeah, 100%, Nolly. Peace out, brother. Thanks very much for the invitation, yeah. And I'm sure I'll
No
see you.
problem.
I'm sure I'll see you in the not too distant future. I'm sure I'll speak to you soon enough, yeah.
We will. We'll bump into
Look,
each other pretty soon. I'm
thanks very
pretty
much
sure of
for
that.
the comments, for the kind words and all and everything else. So, like I said, it's my first time doing something like this. I had to get used to it more often, obviously, but okay, first time we touch as much as we could. But as long as you know, I'll leave you with this before I go. I will never sell you out. I will never turn me back on you, and I will have you at backs, and I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you all, no matter what you do, until the day I die. Hey?
Thank you, Kevin. You're an absolute legend. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
No bother. No bother. See you again.
See
Peace
you.
out.
Right. So, what I would like you guys to do for me is to get this stream out so people can hear what Kevin had to say. If there are bits that you liked and you want to clip, you have my permission to do that. Get it out all over social media. I think he spoke very well tonight. Paul has just put it in the chat there. Yeah, I've just seen it there. There's a couple of videos. Unfortunately, the public order unit has decided not to be peaceful, and they've knocked some man down to the ground, which looks like he was just minding his own. Well, he was minding his own business, and he's had to get knocked down onto the ground. So the public order unit have started up again in Coolock. We'll see how bad it is. I'll keep an eye on things, but I think it was earlier on, because all the footage I'm seeing looks like it was from earlier on. So hopefully it may have calmed down again. But again, we've said it. You know, Coolock has been peaceful for over 3.5 months, as Kevin has said. You know, and as soon as the public order unit comes in, all hell breaks loose, because they're the ones that are agitating the crowd and the protesters, spraying them with pepper spray and knocking them down onto the ground. This is going to continue, unfortunately. The powers that be were defiant earlier today, but to me, it showed that Drew Harris, Simon Harris, and Helen McEntee, and all the others that spoke today, are absolutely clueless, and they are so far removed from us and how we're feeling. It's unbelievable. And the fact is, you've got to come to the conclusion that it's deliberate, and they honestly don't give a shit. So I'll leave you with this. We've been protesting for a long time, and it's gotten us to a certain extent. Now it's time to start doing things on a national level, as I said. We need to stretch the resources in this country, and we need to be planning ASAP. These people are not going to stop, folks. They are going to brutalize our people time and time again. And we can't stand back and just turn up at a protest, right? The time for protesting is well gone, long gone now, right? Now it's time to strategize on a national level and start coming up with legal ways of stopping all of these things from happening. I've seen drone footage of the public order unit in action. Now, I'm no military person, right? But I do watch a lot. I have read a lot and stuff, right? When I saw the drone footage, there's something very startling. These lads that are up against us with their shields and, you know, their pepper spray have not got the first clue what they're doing when you watch the drone footage. Now, with a little bit of planning and a little bit of organization, right, we can make them look foolish. Now, last night they did, the people of Coolock did, because some of them went to Coolock Garda Station and they realised very quickly and they jumped into their vans ASAP, right? This is the type of stuff that we need to be doing, right? We need to be getting smart with our strategy now. There has to be planning put in place. And as I said, and as Kevin has said as well, you know, we use every legal route that we can. We have to exhaust every avenue. But looking at them and seeing the training video of them a few weeks back, if you all remember the training video where they were chanting the so-called far-right chants because they're going to infiltrate marches and protests and stuff like that. And this is why I'm saying we need to change it up. We need to take that out of their hands. We've got to stretch them now as much as possible, right? Right. So because when we meet up all in one place, they're able to control the situation because they can get all the resources to one place. If we start spreading that out, the more we spread that out, the harder it is for them to keep up. And trust me, these guys are unprepared, right? They're being trained, right, to handle this because they've never handled situations like this before, right? So right now, we do have the upper hand. The problem is that the people that are in charge, right, are not coming up with viable plans on how to counter this. I've seen some videos today, you know, someone brought up marbles, right? Marbles, right? You've watched Home Alone, most of us, right? What do marbles do? Right? Start doing smart shit like that. This is what we need to be doing, right? We mightn't like it, but as I said a few streams back, I don't think there's people out there willing to get their hands dirty, but they're going to have to get their hands dirty. And as I said, you know, we got to start. We've got to be clever now. Now, there is that protest outside the courts, the High Court, and that we should be there and people should be there because they're breaking the government has overstepped the mark, okay? And these type of protests are the ones that we should be having. And then, as I said, the national ones then need to be spread out across the country on the same day. You get people to go to different locations across the country, right? Boycott the mainstream media as well, right? So if you have people outside RTE, you have people outside Virgin Media, people outside News Talk, right? Then you have people outside like in Newtown, Mount Kennedy, Clonmel, right? In other places across, people in Knock, right? All of these resources, right, that the government have at their disposal are going to be stretched. So, you know, there's plenty of things we can do. But again, back to Kevin, it was nice to have him on. And you could see there, you know, he's an honest man who just wants to do the best by not just his family, his community, but for everybody out there in the country. And to be quite honest with you, we need a lot more people like him. Fergus Power is another one that definitely should get a vote because he is the same as Kevin, you know, cares about his community, his family. You know, he's doing this for future generations of the people of this country, and that is a noble cause anyway. And none of these people look for praise, credit, you know, wherever. Listen, as they said, emails, phone calls, they're asked to be somewhere, right? And if they're not doing something else because they've committed to something else, they'll be there. They'll be there. And that's what you need. You need politicians like that show that they care. And these guys do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there tonight. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. As I said, if you could share us out to get his message out there, let people see what kind of man he is, and I think he comes across very well, and I think people will see there's an honesty about Kevin. And to be quite honest with you, honesty is missing in Irish politics and always has been missing from Irish politics. You don't get many honest politicians, unfortunately, but I do believe in Kevin and others out there. So yeah, I will talk to you for the next one. Don't forget to join us on Friday on the other channel for Get It Off Your Chest. You are more than welcome to come on and air our grievances, whatever you want to get off your chest. And I will all see you soon. And anybody that is going to that meetup, I will see you there. It's 10:30 in the morning. It's an early one, but I don't mind it being early because, like, you know, it'd be nice to have an early one for a change, because then, you know, you can plan out the rest of the day then. So, yeah, if anybody is going, I will see you there. If not, I will talk to you all, as I said, when we do the rest of the stream. So have a good one, folks. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all very, very soon.